Welcome back to consecutive day 935 of a Diary of a Runpreneur. Please do give this a subscribe, share, like, comment, as the more people we get in front of, the more money we raise on my fundraising mission to save the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon. All the information about the challenge, how you can support it, is in the link in the comments below. Thank you as always, and let's get started. So, consecutive day 935 of a Diary of a Runpreneur. I am very consciously aware that it's actually the 22nd of December today, and you probably won't see this episode until sometime in early February, as I'm about six to 8 weeks behind in terms of my diary and when it's published. And the reason for that is safety, first and foremost, because I talk about kind of what I'm doing, I talk about where I am, all these types of things. And if I publish that in real time, or as close to real time, then it's people will kind of know my whereabouts, what I'm doing at that given point in time. So there is a security related aspect. So I know that some of you will be looking at it thinking, why is he talking about stuff that happened pre-Christmas and it's nearly mid-February or whatever. But that's the reason why. So but I do talk as in real time for me. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. So it is really the 22nd of December. That's what I'm trying to say now, but you won't see this episode until kind of mid-Feb. But anyway, I hope that makes sense. So 22nd December, and it is on the rundown to Christmas. And Christmas is only a few days away now, and work is slowing down. We've got kind of today and tomorrow potentially of kind of working hours. But to be honest, this whole week I've been relatively kind of low-key, taking it a bit easier, doing kind of Christmas related errands, spending a bit more time with the kids, all that type of stuff, which inevitably most people do. I think the only difference for me, and probably similar to many other entrepreneurs out there, is that entrepreneurs don't really switch off entirely, and also entrepreneurs will have their kind of finger on the pulse of what's going on over the Christmas break and won't completely switch off. And I think that's a perfect explanation of kind of how my Christmas break will be. I will certainly relax and recharge, but I will always have my mind racing ahead about what's happening when we get back, what's happening over the Christmas period, because business continues during that time, of course. And also I usually spend a little bit of period over the Christmas period to strategize for the following calendar year, as many people do. It's a time to reflect and realign kind of targets, goals, ambitions for the coming year. So just wanted to talk to you my process of kind of doing that. And I think I spoke earlier this week about yesterday. I went to my nan's grave, as I do every Christmas, and I talked to my nan's grave, and I get a huge amount of comfort from doing that. And I kind of reflect upon the previous year with my nan, and also, look at kind of briefly touch base on what I'm intending to do for the following 12 months. And it feels, A, like a little bit of accountability, but B, my nan has always looked out for me. She's my second mum. I spoke about that in a previous episode, so I'm not going to go too much into detail there. But the fact that I'm talking to my late nan. But I think having that process of getting your feelings, your emotions out about what's happened in the previous 12 months, what went well, what didn't go so well, was a year, what went well in the year, what didn't go so well. I always try and put a positive spin on it, because I think if you focus too much on the negatives, you can turn, sometimes a good year into an okay year, or you could turn an okay year into a bad year just by how you kind of frame it. So, a perfect example is the last 12 months. It's split into two, really. The first half of the year, my oldest son was still really, really ill with long COVID. He missed a whole year of school. But in the second 6 months, so many good things happened in the business, so many nice family trips we had, and there were so many positive things. So I think the positives outweigh the illness that my son had. And secondly, my son recovered in this year. So, and that's not a given. It's never going to be a given when you take into people's health into the equation. So I look back on this year incredibly fondly. Whereas I had an interesting conversation with my wife and mother-in-law, and They're two separate people, obviously, you know, they kind of reflected upon the year as being quite negative, and I was like, yeah, but he's recovered. He recovered in this year, so surely that is the biggest win of all. But they couldn't kind of separate themselves from kind of the early part of the year, which was horrendous. Nobody's disputing that, but it's easy to remember the pain, the anguish, the uncertainty, the fear of those 6 months. But I rather reflect upon that short period of time where he recovered, and then he was back to his old self. And that's how I kind of try and frame things. You can frame anything in a positive or negative way. So that's kind of my reflection process. I try and put more emphasis on the positives. And obviously, if you've had a really bad year and there aren't many positives, then that's understandable. But there's always two polarizing sides to any scenario. Even the most grimmest of negative situations out there, there's normally a positive spin that you can put on it, and it's how you focus. And I think from my experience, if you dwell on the negatives, it can carry with you and hold you back moving forwards. If you focus straight away on the positives and reflect on the negatives and assess them, what went wrong, what you can do differently next, but primarily focus more so on the positives, it will springboard you forward. And really, really important process. I talked about a book a long time ago about the 12-week year. It's a great planning and strategizing book, and that's what I'll be taking into 2023 again, breaking the year into 4 quarterly chunks or 13-week periods, and scrutinizing performance over a week-by-week basis over a 12-week period with a week of reflection, and having a scorecard aligned with your targets is really, really important to see where you're trending. So we've got some pretty big targets. I will talk about them over the coming weeks once I've kind of set them in stone a little bit more. But there's a lot of exciting stuff that could happen in 2023, or it could be disastrous if we don't hit these targets. So the business has done really well this year, but we're still a long way away from where we ultimately want to be. And we've got to remember it's a journey, not a destination. So that's where I'm going to leave it today. Just what people generally do, what entrepreneurs generally do on the wind down to Christmas, what they're thinking about. I'm just giving you my thought processes on what I will be doing. And I'll certainly be enjoying the festive season, but I'll also have one eye on 2023. So any questions or comments, drop me a line. I'll respond to everyone. Do remember to give this a subscribe, share, like, comment, as the more people we get in front of, the more money we raise on my fundraising mission to save the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon. Also, you can donate stars, which is small monetary donations to the cause, as well via Facebook. So anytime you see one of my videos on Facebook, there'll be an option to donate or support with stars. If you do that, I'll be hugely appreciated as well. So thank you as always. Stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you again tomorrow.